Hello, everyone. Welcome to round 9 of ALR Gold, and we are here in North America for the Canadian Grand Prix. And this is a good old school classic track, isn't it? I think the first Grand Prix here was back in 1981 or something like that, wasn't it? Goodness me, that was a very long time ago, wasn't it? But yeah, it's going to be a cracking race indeed. But before we even get into the runners and riders and how it's going to be so unpredictable tonight, let's quickly go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? And at the moment, it is Eat the Cookie then, who for the first time in his ALR career had a DNF last time out in Azerbaijan, didn't he? So he's going to try and get back on top of the mountain here tonight, isn't he? Well, he is still on top of the mountain in terms of the Drivers' Championship anyway. He is 50 points in front of Emerson, who got his first race win of the season last time out in round 8. I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, that's incredible, isn't it? But of course, Emerson that was also his first race win of his career as well, wasn't it? Way back in season 2. So yeah, Emerson is now second in the World Drivers' Championship. In third position is Lightson as well, 13 points away from Emerson, but a massive 63 points behind Cookie. Granted, the champion has dropped down to fourth in the World Drivers' Championship. Pease is still in a very strong fifth position. Alhan is in sixth, then with Drop Fast in seventh position. Fireshot, Dan, and Los Sorzas all dropped down respectively in the standings then as well. Other than that, we've got Nigel moving up 2 positions. He's now up to 14th in the Drivers' Championship. Jonathan's best performance of the season so far has moved him up to 16th as well. Unfortunately, Exo and Twitch have dropped down a couple of positions as well. And in the relegation zone, it is Sammy and Caesar. And of course, we've also got we got a new driver who's now part of the Alfa Romeo team, which we'll go through in just a few minutes. But before we do so, because that's some breaking news. But before we do, let's quickly go for the constructor, shall we? In the constructor standards, and look at that, it's a lovely, miserable day out there, isn't it, in Canada? And normally is, isn't it? Really, it's either really hot or very overcast and murky, isn't it? Which is basically that's what weather is, really, isn't it? It's either sunny or rainy or overcast, isn't it? Basically, so that's just it in a nutshell, really, isn't it? Enough about all my jibber jabber. Going to the constructor standings, and it is Red Bull Racing. Remember that they were the first ever constructors champions, weren't they? In ALR, in the ALR season 1, inaugural season, wasn't it? And they are top at the moment. And Renault have now moved up into second as well after a strong performance from both drivers. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then AlphaTauri in third position as well. Williams has dropped from second to fourth as well. They're defending constructors championship, champions, but it's very nip and tuck, isn't it, between all those guys out there? Goodness me, very close indeed. Ferrari are up a position. Mercedes has also gone up a position as well. Racing Point have dropped down 2 positions. They are down in 7th position as well. McLaren are 11 points back in 8th position. Haas are 15 points away from McLaren. And then Alfa Romeo is at the bottom at the moment, unfortunately, as well. Of course, the whole Constructors League table is only covered by 90 odd points. Goodness me, it is nip and tuck, isn't it? And of course, we were talking about some breaking news, and it is informed of the Alfa Romeo team. It is Equals making his debut tonight in the gold division. He has driven in silver and bronze, but this is the first time he is driving in gold tonight. And also, he is a full-time driver for the Alfa Romeo team as well. So congrats to Equals there. Unfortunately, Mumford has had to step down, and of course, Mumford is up until this season he's been ever present, hasn't he, since making his debut back in Silverstone last season in gold. Then, so fantastic stuff from Mumford, and of course we can't wait to see him back in the cockpit in the hopefully not too distant future. So good stuff indeed. Then, so yeah, that is Equals, the newest member then to the ALR Gold full-time division as well. We've got a couple of parish notices to bring to you as well, as we've got 4 quali bands then, haven't we, for the World Champion Grantee, and I believe that for Sam as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. Let me just check my notes to make sure that that is actually right, because I don't want to be wrong, do I? Yeah, so it's a 4 quali band for Sam, and is it Milan's just starting this up now? Yeah, full quali band for Grantee and Sam. Unfortunately, we got Q2 bands for Nigel and Fireshot as well, for being very naughty boys. And so there we go. Then that's the parish notices from here in Canada as well. Lovely stuff indeed. Then, and anyway, just watching in Milan and on his lap at the moment. And good stuff indeed then from Milan. And let's see what he is going to do in the first sector as well. Then. Nick just coming out then. It's a short old track around here, isn't it? But there's only 14 turns on this circuit as well. For goodness me, it's a tricky old circuit. This one is, where it could really mess you up quite quickly as well. And you can also end up in the Armco barrier as well, pretty rapidly indeed. Then, and as you can see, that we've got just in the foreground there, a couple of cars there duking it out then as well. Milan there coming out of turn 11 as well. And there's his teammate Equals making his debut for the Alfa Romeo team. And of course, he is now a full-time driver as well. So good stuff indeed there. Really good stuff there. As Milan there, as we've got yellow flag in sector 2, 3 DRS zones around here. And he's invalidated his timer right in the final couple of corners there here in Montreal. So that time is not going to count. And he is going to have to go round again, unfortunately. And that is a big shame indeed then. And Sam is retired from the session there as well. That is not good at all, is it? So that's a real shame then for Milan. He's going to go around again. Of course, Sam has got a full qualifying ban there, which is unfortunate. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Drop fast has gone out fastest now. He's done it 08.979 then in the Ferrari. Lovely stuff indeed there from a drop fast in car 8.99. So he's the first man to put a time on the board then. Good stuff indeed then for the Ferrari driver as well. Grant is also retired from the session as well. Farf is coming across the line as well. We're on board then with Farf. He's also invalidated this time as well. There's going to be a lot of penalties here tonight. There's going to be a lot of penalties. There's going to be a lot of tears at the end of this as well. And so, of course, the cleaner you are, the more likely you are going to be getting some decent points. Nigel then made his debut, didn't he, back here in season 1? Nigel did. So of course, I remember that really shook up the championship back then, didn't it, when Nigel stepped in and really showed the form, didn't he? He was incredible since making his debut, Nigel. He's currently 4th fastest, the slowest out of the 4 cars so far. Equals in car number 21, I believe, and that's a cracking number. He is 4th fastest at the moment, and we've got Fireshot, who's in 3rd fastest at the moment as well. But so he has got a timing. Of course, he just invalidated. Caesar has invalidated as well. Troy has invalidated. Farf is going for a second bite of the cherry as well. Alhan is on at the moment. Emerson is also out on circuit. We've got Murphy out there as well. We've got a lot of cars on circuit at the moment. Goodness me, it is very packed out there, isn't it, to say the least. Cookie coming up to the line, so look at that. He's hugging the outside of the course, and he is 4th fastest among them, the championship leader. The first time, as I mentioned, he hasn't finished an ALR race last time out in Baku there as well. So he was very disappointed with that, I assume. Well, no, he was very disappointed. For our former race winner, 3-time race winner in ALR, he is 6th fast at the moment, and good stuff indeed there for Farf. As we have just got Jonathan Cox there, who has gone fastest so far in the McLaren. He hasn't had a pole position, Jonathan, since round 8 of last season, if I'm not very much mistaken. That is a huge amount of time for Jonathan to be on pole, isn't it? Incredible. Alhan there is on circuit as well. Emerson's gone 3rd fast as well. We've got Murphy who's coming on the back straight as well. Of course, as I said, there's 3 DRS zones around here. Lovely stuff. There's 3 DRS zones around here. Of course, there is 1 on the start-finish straight, 1 in between number 12 and 13, and of course there on the back straight as well. Murphy goes into it fast. A strong drive last time out for Murphy here, wasn't it? He finished 2nd in the race last season. A brilliant drive as well from Dan Murphy as well. After he took a break, didn't he? And this is his 55th race start in ALR now, and a very impressive stuff, isn't he? I think he. Technically, in terms of the races which he started, Murphy is the longest serving ALR driver, because he made his debut back in season 1 in Australia, didn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Dan Murphy as well. Talking of long serving drivers, here comes Mr. Elite. This is his 40th race start tonight for Mr. Elite. Fantastic, isn't it? He's had a podium in his career as well. He's had 5 driver day awards, and he's only DNF 10 times. So pretty impressive stats there from Mr. Elite, and very much he's like Sergio Perez, and he's a point scoring machine, isn't he? And that is why Renault now really starting to climb up the table, aren't they? Doing a good job. I think that I thought that was a bit of car come off from Milan there, but it wasn't. A piece of car come off from Milan there. So Mr. Lee, very much a point score machine as well. Also, Cookie making his 10th appearance tonight as well. Good stuff indeed for Cookie. As they're just on board with Lost Souls, I should say as well. I thought it's in a bit of spots of rain there on the camera, as I was getting very intrigued there. Lost Souls are coming into the hairpin as well. I've got a couple of comments there coming in as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And I'll give him a good old read in a second as well, as we're coming out of the hairpin as well. There used to be a mobile shake. There is rain! There is rain in on the camera. Goodness me then. And oh gosh then, so this is not good at all. It says Lost Souls, and he needs to get this time in very early on. Oh, he's gone into the wall of champions. Lost Souls has. He is not a champion in ALR, but he is now a part of the wall of champions history, isn't he? And Lost Souls is gone into 7th fastest among them as well. Murphy is going to be feeling a bit twitchy down there, isn't he? So is Pease. Pease is invalidated this time as well. It is really up the ante so far here in the qualifying session, hasn't it? Remember, we had a appalling weather here, didn't we, in Season 2? Remember, as we're just coming now down into turn 16 as well. Equals has been disqualified from the session. Goodness me, what's happened to Equals on his debut? And he has been disqualified. And I didn't even see what he got disqualified for. Goodness gracious me then. It is, well, it's all going off here in qualifying, isn't it? Gosh. FIFA Beefy, of course. I haven't even mentioned FIFA Beefy yet. How rude of me. He is making his debut here in gold tonight. He goes 12th fastest. Lovely stuff indeed then. What about Troy? Troy goes 14th fastest as well. Milan is back out on circuit then. We have lost 3 cars already in this qualifying session. Barthel's retired from the session now, but he is in the pits, I believe. Yes, he is indeed then. So Milan then needs to get time in now. He's done 3 laps on these soft tires. He's invalidated his time, but don't worry about that because this is only an out lap. He's going to have to have another bite of cherry, isn't he? So yeah, we're going to watch what Pease does now. Of course, when it rains here, it does quite buckle it down, doesn't it? Think of the classic race around here where we've had a sprinkling of rain. Of course, the longest race in F1 history. 20. Oh goodness me! And Pease there, almost going into the Armco barrier there, but luckily keeping it on the straight and narrow. Of course, we've had a lot of, of course, the longest ever race here was 2011 there, wasn't it? Of course, an hour, 4 hours and 4 minutes there. As also as retired from the session as well, on board with Pease as well. Of course, 2000, we also had a sprinkle of rain, didn't we? In that incredible race as well. And not many people talk about that race. I quite enjoyed that race personally. Villeneuve was on a cracking race up until where it started to rain as well. Of course, that is Jacques Villeneuve, the son of the great Gilles Villeneuve, the 1997 world champion. Jacques Villeneuve was, but this race he never seemed to get the rub of the green, did he? Anyway, Total Pease then, let's see what he can do then on his first visit as well. But I've got to say, it's great to see Jonathan right back in the mix there as well. Great stuff indeed then. And now Total Pease coming out of the 13 and 14 chicane at the Wall of Champions, and Pease improves to only 15 classes. Caesar's invalidated again then, and so has Milan then, who is going to be taking the walk of shame at the moment then, with the track getting wetter and wetter out there. And Yates is retired from the session as well. Sorry, I've had a KFC today, so I'm absolutely loving life. Emerson's retired from the session then, and Caesar comes back in the pits. Why? Does he feel it's too wet out there? Well, unfortunately, we are going to be losing 5 drivers in this first qualifying session. We have already lost 3 of them. Equals has been disqualified. His teammate Milan is in the drop zone as well. Both Alfa Romeos are facing extinction in this first part of qualifying. Not good at all, is it? We've got Granty out qualifying as well for the qualifying ban. Sam also got a qualifying ban as well, and Caesar, who is coming the pits then, and the other man who's going to be out qualifying then, is it going to be Milan or is it going to be Total Pease? We're on board in Milan as well. Let's see what he can muster up then. Oh goodness me, then getting very close to the edge as well. Jonathan is also retired from this session as well, as we are now less 6.5 minutes to go in this session. And apologies guys, I will be with you in just a second in the comments as well, but first I think we need to cover the drama on track, haven't we? And there is a lot of drama out there as well in this rain affected qualifying session as well. I'm not even sure if it's going to rain in the race yet, to be honest. I haven't had a weather report, or I have. I'm just a bit behind on the old comments there. So as FIFA's also retired as well, but FIFA into qualifying too, well, looks like good stuff there. Go very strong hand. Of course, FIFA beat. Oh goodness me, Milan almost did a Kimi Räikkönen there. Remember, Kimi Räikkönen had issues there in the first 2 races in the hybrid, in the turbo hybrid era, didn't they? Where is the RS been disabled? It looks like it has, hasn't it? That's really going to hurt Milan, isn't it? Coming down the back straight then. And he's now coming into the chicane as well. But he's going to fish off his lap. But it's too greasy out there now. And unfortunately, Milan is also out of qualifying as well. Both Alfa Romeos, who are bottom in the constructors, are now also both out of qualifying as well then. And that's, I've got to say, I'm actually surprised by that, because Milan and Munford, when they was paired together at the beginning of the ALR draw for gold, I was actually thinking that there is a very strong team in that team, but it's just not gone their way, has it? Mumford unfortunately has had to step down as well, but Milan's had 2 pole positions, but in the race in race trim, he just can't seem to turn those incredible qualifying performances into major point scores, can he? Albeit Milan has had 32 points this season, but I think that he probably could and should have had a bit more there in the tank there. And let's take a quick look at the comments then, shall we? Whilst we're watching Milan there, just having a bit of fun out there. In the comment section, then we have Jonathan saying, "Good evening, Sean. Little annoyed, but okay." Well, I don't think he's going to be annoyed anymore, is he? He's having a cracking race, isn't he? Cracking qualifying so far. Really good stuff indeed. Then we have also got. I'll just cancel that. Right then, and we've also got in the comments as well as Equals said he got disqualified for letting someone go, and he was blocking the entrance, had no choice there. Oh goodness me, then so that's a bit harsh. We've also got Jared saying, "Hello Sean, you look very beautiful in that pink suit there." Oh indeed I did. Mr. Young Lights, hello Sean, hello Young Lights, hope you're all well. And he did ask how's everyone doing today, and good luck as well. Milan comes into the pits as well. Caesar's back out on circuit as well. He's on the soft tyres. This is fast lap, but unfortunately, it's not very. It's going to be very pedestrian compared to the dry runners, isn't it? We have got Pillar saying that evening short. I hope you've got enough red starbursts tonight. Unfortunately, I've got no starbursts at the moment, so I'm a little down on my luck on that front. And like to say no, I can get into the 08s tonight then. I'll put a lot of practice in. Well, I'm not sure if anyone's going to get. Well, Lights has gotten to the 08 since, but I think that might be the last time we get into the 08s in qualifying. If this rain doesn't abate, then goodness me. And as Lights is very happy with his time as well. Then we've got Gunnar saying, "Good evening, everyone. Hello, Gunnar. Hope you're well." We've got Lewis Spencer saying, "Let go, Tommy." And good luck, Equals, on his debut, but unfortunately hasn't gone too well at all for Equals, has it? Unfortunately. Yeah, so that's such a shame as well. Bad luck to Milan for not setting the time for the rain there from Tommy as well. Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it, really, for that's a shame there, isn't it? Anyway then, so Caesar now is coming back into the pits then, and unfortunately, I think that's going to be the end. Oh, goodness me, we've got a bit of spray coming up in the air now from Nigel as well. Goodness me then, and goodness me then, of course, that's really going to cause some. Oh, Nigel also hitting the wall as well then on board. Nigel, as I mentioned, then this is his first race win in his ALR career, wasn't it? His first win of 7, wasn't it, really? So Nigel's had 7 race wins, hasn't he? He hasn't won a race this season, and he's also gone into the barrier as well, unfortunately there. Nigel, look at that, he's damaged the end plate, and the Mercedes ain't going to be too happy about that, are they? But he'll be coming back into the pits then, as he was just testing the foundations then of that Mercedes car in wet weather trim. Well, unfortunately, they're going to have to. They might have to beef up the old wing, the old front wing there, won't they? Goodness me. Got Gordo saying Premier League's back. Liverpool win. GP weekend. ALR. Yes, they are blessing us indeed. There. The gods are blessing us, aren't they, this weekend? Cracking Formula 1 race as well. I don't want to put a spoiler in there because some of you might not have watched it, but let's just say it was a cracking race. But I hope you got a spare 2 or so odd hours, because it was quite a long one today, wasn't it? With a couple of red flags and a couple of safety cars thrown in there as well. And interesting stuff indeed. Then Nigel's carried on then. Remember though, Nigel has to be careful around here, because if he does go into the wall, that is it. If he goes into the wall and damages the car, where he can't get himself back to the pits, and look at that, then that car is going. Oh goodness me! Of course, Panis had a smash there in 97, didn't he? And unfortunately, Nigel there, luckily, was going a lot slower than Panis was back in that 97 race. That awful collision there, and he's also damaged the front wing as well. Nigel, he's not. I gotta say, I think they just didn't like. I wonder if they got a new wing there and they just wanted to get rid of the old wings as well. Perhaps they should have just taken it off then if they want to get rid of that, but there you go. But you can see then the rain is getting quite heavy now, isn't it? Look at this, and the rain is streaming off of the camera, isn't it? If we look back from the Mercedes T-Cam, lovely stuff indeed then. And he's got no wing, has he? Which is unfortunate. As Toby saying, smashing that wing to pieces there, and Nunda saying, ooh, rain as well. Oh, and Nigel has also spun it as well. I already mentioned about Kimi Raikkonen issues there in the first 2 seasons of the hybrid era, didn't they? So he had really odd output, didn't he? There, which is quite difficult, isn't it? As just Taylor, then stream quality is really poor. Yeah, I know this. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Just standard stuff on something. I reckon I reckon the BT probably just switches off the bandwidth or something, don't they? But there you go. Canada is hard enough to drive throughout the rain there. It is, isn't it? It is very difficult indeed then as well. So anyway then we are now going to get ready for qualifying 2 in just a jiffy as well then. So this is going to be a cracking race, I think, a cracking qualifying as well. Anyway then so has anyone watched the live race today as well from the race? I don't know. The quality is pretty poor, it is, isn't it? I don't know, to be honest. I've got 70 mega download and all that kind of stuff, so I've been a BT shafted just to say to make it a bit professional. But there we go then as well. So we're on board then with Caesar. Unfortunately, Caesar is on the intermediate tires then, and unfortunately he has missed the best of the track conditions, which means he's out qualified, which is such a shame, isn't it? Yeah, Nunda said no spoilers, so we ain't going to give you any spoilers, Nunda. So but it was a cracking race, wasn't it? As Caesar is now coming down into the hairpin as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. As we've already had a spoiler in the old comments as well. So I think we've lost the cars that we have lost tonight, haven't we? In this qualifying 1 session. Of course, that was a bit of a premature qualifying, which is a shame, really, isn't it? Because when the weather comes down so early on there, it just kind of gives the final part of qualifying a bit of a damp squib kind of thing, doesn't it? Which is a big old shame, to say the least. As Caesar comes across the line, he has not set a time, because that is it for qualifying, and he is now unfortunately out of this first part of qualifying. Nigel's not out qualifying, but goodness me, he's going to have to get a new piece of front wing, isn't he? A new front wing, isn't he? Because he's absolutely demolished that front wing, hasn't he? In the first run, anyway. What about the second run as well? He's got better front wing this time, hasn't he? He's got all pieces really going together nicely indeed. Anyway, just watching Nigel there as he's coming out of the hairpin as well, and I think that he's not going to be able to do a time lap here, but I think he's just trying to get his eye in for qualifying 2, albeit I think I'm sure he's got qualifying actually, it's a shame. It is a shame, isn't it, for Nigel? Because remember, as I said, he had his debut here, didn't he, in ALR Gold in Season 1. And look at that, they're doing 26s now, aren't they? Which is incredible, considering the fact that they were doing a 108 earlier on. Now they're doing the 26 as well. But Nigel is carrying on, albeit the clock has stopped for me. But there you go. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So Nigel. Well, this is interesting actually for me because possibly because of goodness me, he's drifting wide there. Because we like to see what's going to go on, isn't it, in Q2? And this gives us very much a bit of a benchmark, doesn't it, about what's going on for qualifying 2 and who is going to adapt to these wet weather conditions. As I think we remember in Season 2, we had absolutely monstrously wet conditions, didn't we? Emerson there tamed the Canadian weather, didn't he? And of course he went on to win here in a spectacular start as well, didn't he? Very impressive stuff indeed then. As Nigel there is coming out now as well. I'm wondering, is it stopped from raining? Because the rain looks it doesn't look as heavy as it once was, is it? So I'm wondering if it is going to be stopping rain for qualifying 2 and qualifying 3 then. Which I got to say, personally, I would love it. As of course the rain does does take away the spectacular of qualifying every now and again, doesn't it? Well, at the moment then, we do have the race lap record around here. It's actually set by Stringy, which is a 1:10.224. Good stuff indeed then. And really good stuff then. As Benz has asked, is any home drivers in this race then? I don't think so, albeit tomorrow for Silver. We do have a couple of guys that is near to where we live, of course, near to where we're racing tomorrow, so I'll definitely give them a shout out tomorrow as well, as Nigel there has just been wheeled back in, and that's the last we're going to be seeing of Nigel in qualifying here tonight. But don't worry, he'll be back in the race as well. Anyway, yeah, so Stringy there is a 10.224 at the moment, and that is the fastest lap which was set by Stringy. Of course, we had a wet qualifying last season as well, but it was Emerson who got that pole position, didn't he? He had a 20 there as well. I think the all-time lap record is actually set by Silent Shifting, of course, who got pole position here in season 2, didn't he? It was a cracking race. It was a cracking pole position well from Silent Shifting, but unfortunately, his car was not set up for the wet, was it? Which he really struggled on, didn't he? And that is which is a bit of a shame there, isn't it? Of course, we also had a wet qualifying, I think, in that season of 1 as well, didn't we? Goodness me, there's been a lot of wet qualifying here in Canada, isn't it? Well, I was talking about the rain. Well, goodness me, then. I think we've only ever had one dry qualifying by the looks of those stats there, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. As Nunda's just gone to watch the highlights as well. That's going to be really good. Yeah, enjoy that. Nunda's going to be cracking. And it's still damp out there at the moment, isn't it? And it's still intermediate tires. It's very light rain. I think it might dry up, actually. We might get a dry circuit again in the not too distant future. Lovely stuff indeed there. As Granty has said, hello, my husband. Hope you're well. I'm on top of the world, my good man. I hope you're doing okay as well then. So we've also got just a bit of banter going on. A bit of banter going on. I think at Nunda's expense, really, in the old comments section. We've got a couple of guys that are thinking about going on to the soft tyres then at the moment. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. As out of the pits comes Farf. He is on the soft tyres, and Mr. Lee is also thinking about the softs as well. We've got FIFA figures on the intermediate tyres. He is at the moment now, and we're on board then. And look, the rain is almost stopping. It has stopped. Fireshot, of course, is out of qualifying, but it has to. Well, it might not stop, but the DRS has been enabled then. But I wonder if FIFA Beef is just going to put a banker time in just to make sure. Just to make sure that it gets a time on the board there and doesn't bin it into the wall as well. Because remember, we've already guaranteed 2 men out of this qualifying session, unfortunately, because of the qualifying 2 bans. But after the very messy race in Baku just over a week ago, Jonathan is asking, why is it saying sunny when it is raining? And we've also got Darren asking if Grant has been banned. Unfortunately, he has been banned, so Grant has put his feet up for the minute. Then the double world champion, and probably just enjoying himself, isn't he, in the Williams garage there. FIFA Beefy then is on circuit at the moment. Then DRS has been enabled, and the rain has stopped. Then, so we could have a dry circuit coming up in just a few moments' time. Then. And now FIFA is carrying on then. This is Davey here in gold. He's driven in silver for most of his career, hasn't he? Well, all of his career in ALR. Now he's having a shot in gold there. So good stuff indeed there. And let's see what he can do there as well as he comes into turn 1 and 2. Car 19 as well, FIFA. Before accelerating out there. And the yellow flag in 3 has won the Reynolds there. It's come a cropper now. I think it was Mr. Elite there on his 40th race start, remember? Mr. Lee is, I think he was letting some through actually. And now then, as we come into the very perilous turn 5 there, of course, as I've already mentioned, that Panis had the most horrific accident there, didn't he? Back in 1997, it was an awful smash, wasn't it? And unfortunately, it cost him the rest of the season. Well, most of the rest of the season, didn't it? And that was probably Panis' most strongest season in terms of performance, wasn't it? And possibly could have won his second Grand Prix of his career. Maybe even a couple on that season as well, because that Prost car was quite mighty in 97, wasn't it? And it was Prost's best ever car, albeit it was more of I think it was actually a Ligier design car, wasn't it? And of course they did buy Ligier quite late on at the end of 96 as well, if anyone was interested. And that was a highly downloadable. FIFA then is on the back straight then as well then, and he is now coming into the 13 and 40 as well. Nope, he is coming into the pits then, and we've got Farf and we've got a Renault in front of Farf, which is Mr. Elite then, as he accelerated out as well then. Of course, the track is going to be very green still, isn't it, after we've had a sprinkling of rain there from the sky, but we'll see how the Lactons do in a minute then. Mr. Elite then is now coming into the final. Oh, he's invalidated this time now, and that is not good at all. This race is an error generator, isn't it, really? And of course, Farfair, goodness me, Mr. Elite that's slowing right down there, and Farfair must have, good job, he's got his wits about him, next that would have been an airplane crash. Farfair's done a 20 so far, and I don't think that's going to be the quickest time in qualifying too. And as I say very confidently, and there's a lot of stuff going on here in the first sector. We're living to it. Jonathan's invalidated this time as well. He was the quickest in qualifying one, wasn't it, Jonathan? So he'd be happy. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Jonathan would be happy that it stopped raining as well, but unfortunately, Drop fast having to cancel and go around again on board Jonathan as well. He hasn't been on pole position for a long time now, has he? Calls the man with the most pole positions in ALR history so far with 9, hasn't there? He hasn't been able to set any since then, has he, Jonathan? Let's see if he can get into double figures here tonight and here in Canada as well. And he accelerates out of turn 2. A very difficult start, isn't it, in the... a very difficult start, first couple of quarters in Canada, isn't it? If anyone remembers the '98 start, goodness me, that was an interesting start to the race, wasn't it? Where Wurtz barrel rolled in the gravel trap, didn't he? As he went over the back of, well, he went through Jean Lacey, I think, in Yarno Trilly, wasn't it? And then, of course, in the second race start as well, unfortunately, Trilly had 2 for 2 because that was a spare Prost gone as well. Jonathan's also gone 2 for 2 for invalidating his laps, unfortunately. And this is another lap now that he's out invalidating. Remember, if you get in the top 10, must start on the tyres, which you set your fastest time on. And currently at the moment, Jonathan there has already done a couple of laps on these tyres, and so I wonder if he's going to come back into the pits potentially as well. As Granty has already said, he is going for a driver today. Good stuff indeed there. Of course, Darren, a former Williams driver, wasn't he? And I think he still has a soft spot for Williams team, doesn't he? And he's in the pits now, so I've got everyone in the pits at the moment. As just as I say that, Drop Fast decides to come out of the pits there and alleviate you guys from probably hearing about all kinds of nonsense about the the history of the Canadian Grand Prix. I'm sure that well, I'm going to waffle on about it because I love this circuit. I love the races around here as well. The races around here have been absolutely cracking, haven't they? You could just list them off, can't you? Of course, the '95 Canadian Grand Prix, where Jean Lacey won his one and only race, didn't he? In the famous number 27 of Ferrari. So that was quite apt as well, wasn't it? Of course, Gilles Villeneuve was the famous Ferrari, was driving the famous 27 as well. And of course, Gilles Villeneuve, this track is named after the great Gilles Villeneuve as well, isn't he? But Jean Lacey won that race as well. It was a cracking race as well. I'm sure he was flanked by the 2 Jordan cars, wasn't he? With Barry Kello and Irvine, goodness me. Of course, that was back when both those 2 drivers were much younger, weren't they? And both of them went on to become race winners as well for the Scuderia, didn't they? Of course, I think Irvine won 4 races in the full Ferrari, didn't he? In that incredible '99 season, after Schumacher broke his leg horrifically at the British Grand Prix, didn't he? And Irvine took up the mantle as well. Ferrari stopped development, I think, after Schumacher hurt himself, didn't he? Possibly that could have might have cost them the World Championship, because that season, it seemed like no one wanted to win the title, did they? Hakkinen had a lot of errors, didn't he? Imola as well, he crashed into the unforced area at the San Marino Grand Prix. Another unforced error, the Italian Grand Prix, that was a famous error as well, wasn't it? Where we seen famously Hakkinen in the trees there, really upset about the goings on, wasn't he? As he was very disappointed as well. As a fun fact there from Gordo, his Lorraine Carter King was 14th in the Canadian Grand Prix. Great stuff indeed there. As Tommy also giving us Sean's facts of the day then. As I forgot, the Canadian Grand Prix was absolutely weird, wasn't it? 2011, goodness gracious. I think Lorraine Carter Kane, actually, here's another good fact. I think in 2012 he ran his highest. I think he was in the points. Was the Carter Kane was in the Malaysian Grand Prix 2012? I think it was, and that incredible race as well. Drop Fast and his teammates already set a time on the board, but this is more competitive, and he's done a 9 then to start us off then with 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session then, and here we go then. And let's see what we can do then. Let's see what the drivers can do now as well then. So Young Lights is out on a lap at the moment. We've also got Jonathan Cox having another bite of cherry as well. Cookie is also on there as well, but I think it's Young Lights who we need to focus on, as he is on the back straight, and DRS is wide open in that Red Bull. And now then, as he is coming down then into 13 and 14 as well, and lovely stuff then as he comes out of the Wall of Champions area. He didn't even graze it, and Lights as fast as at the moment now on the medium compound tyre. Lovely stuff indeed. What about Cookie? Cookie has gone fastest and 2/10 of a second in front of Lights at the moment now. Bear in mind now, we was in the 8th in the first qualifying session, but of course it is a green track at the moment, isn't it? Jonathan there, so we've got yellow flags there in the first part of the course there. Do not worry about that, because Jonathan's gone purple in the second sector. We need to worry about this, don't we? Look at the brake disc glow there from the famous 25, the British Italian driver then, as he accelerates out of the hairpin as well, and he is now on the back straight as well. DRS right on the money then, and he's up that Ferrari in front is a bit too far for him to pick up a cheeky slipstream, and he flies by me now. Incredible stuff as well. Into 13, into 14, he is making sure he's got a lot of manoeuvrability on the X there, just anticipating a bit of oversteer. He goes fastest there, and he is not messing. He is on the soft tires, Jonathan is as well, and he might be fairly happy with that time. I think I'll be fairly happy with that time indeed. Good stuff. Lost Souls there on board at the moment with Lost Souls as he is into the middle part of the chicane as well. Dan Murphy is also on that circuit as well, as is Alhan. Then is getting very busy out there, isn't it? And I am loving it then. Now we have got both racing points out there. Well, of course, this is the second to last season they'll be called the Racing Point in ALR before they become the Aston Martin team, won't they? And I'm looking forward to seeing that British Racing green back on our grid as well, of course. So good stuff indeed there for the Aston Martin, aka Racing Point. Pease has gone second fast moment, and no one has gone to the 8th moment. Lost Souls then coming to the line as well. Lost Souls then been promoted from silver at the end of last season, and he goes at third fast as well. Lost Souls has been, I think he's shown flashes of brilliance, hasn't he, Lost Souls has, but I don't think we've seen the utmost out of Lost Souls yet, and I am expecting some very impressive races then, when the coming up in the foreseeable future as well. Then, right then, is we are now getting into the final part of qualifying as well. Let's see what he can do as well. And it's now Mr. Elite then, currently 13th fast at the moment, accelerates away then, as there is still a lot of rain clouds overhead, isn't it? It's a very, I gotta say, it's a very murky day, isn't it? DRS once again on the money then, as he coming down the back straight then, here in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix as well. It's very unusual, isn't it, to have the Canadian Grand Prix around 9? It feels way too late, doesn't it? Mr. Elite there, how to adjust the steering angle there, wasn't he? Out of the final chicane then, he comes up to the line, he goes into 9th fast at the moment. That is a teetering on the edge there, isn't it? Troy has had some issues there in the Alpha Tower then, so he will be, looks like he's cruising back to the pits then as well. So we've got FIFA, Alhan and Nigel, both Mercedes there, who have not set a time just yet, and Troy is invalidated this time. He might have also invalidated his next time as well, for that as well, as unfortunately it's a bit brutal on your track, isn't it? So yeah, Troy unfortunately is invalidated this time and the next time as well. So that's a bit more frustrating, there. He's only got 3 minutes, so he's got to hurry up and get himself round here, hasn't he? Otherwise, he is going to be very much on the cusp there, isn't he? Because I know it's a very short lap, isn't it? It's around the 70-second mark, isn't it? Lap it's it's quicker than a hiccup, isn't it, around here? But of course, but the time is now becoming your enemy at this stage of proceedings, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed. Then it's now then, so Troy is now coming into the second chicane. He's now coming into the hairpin then as well, and he is just about then to, I wonder if he's going to abandon his lap and come in the pits. Eat the cookies, done 3 laps on those at medium tyres, hasn't he? So I got to say, that is not going to help him out in the race, is it? Because this race, remember, the Pirelli idea was of having tyres that are degradable. I think that this idea was born here, wasn't it, in 2010 where we was having a lot of pit stops, wasn't it? Because the Bridgestone tyres had a lot of, basically had a lot of durability, didn't they? And really, it was just one stop, so literally almost more often than not. Apart from this race in 2010, wasn't it, where they had 2 stops in there. We're on board now, and let's see what is going on there with people there. So Bradfield said, "Evening lads, looking forward to bronze. Love this track." Then good stuff indeed. Then so of course Bradfield there, who will be in action on Tuesday night, of course, in the bronze race. And of course it was a cracking race in the Baku last time out, wasn't it? And of course we've got another first-time winner in the former Newman, didn't we? Goodness me, that championship is so close, isn't it? Bronze is fantastic. Really is indeed. Then of course at the moment now, Ethan Cookie does have an advantage, doesn't he, currently over the rest of the field. He's got a 50-point advantage over Emerson, who's now moved up to second in the championship, hasn't he? As now we're just on board then with FIFA then. Can he, in his debut here in gold then, I'm wondering if he can get into qualifying 3. That'd be a fantastic achievement, wouldn't it? As he's now going into the final part of the course as well. Exile unfortunately would be in this race there, but FIFA was a last minute replacement for Exile. FIFA's invalidated his time. He's invalidated his time. He's going to have to go around again. Unfortunately, this lap ain't going to count, so he's going to have to have a couple of extra laps out there, isn't he? Draw fast there is 6/10 of a second up. He is feeling the pinch in the Ferrari as well. As Nuno saying he does not like the he does not like this this last quarter, does he? It's a bit of a difficult one. As I said, it's an air generator, isn't it? drop fast has gone to full fast and stuff indeed. But I thought it said a Ferrari over. I don't know it was the track then as well. Our hands on and out at the moment as well. So Nigel far shot 14th, 15th in this session. We are going to be losing 3 drivers in this session. We've already lost Nigel and Farshot, who is going to be joining them. Farf is back out on circuit as well then. So we have got a busy old track out there, and we've got a bit of sunshine as well. There's bursting through the clouds, and getting very interesting indeed, isn't it? And now we're on board then, as we're on board again, then once again with Farfen, as he is coming down the back straight, isn't he? And now is coming into the second sector, just to finish off the second sector now as well. And now we're back on board then with Farf, as he is coming down into the hairpin. And let's see what he can do as well. He's done a 41.0 in the second in the hairpin as well before accelerating away, and now coming out of the hairpin and on the back straight then. And here he is, a DRS right on the money for Farf, and he's got one more corner to go, which is the chicanes that FIFA has retired from the session. FIFA, so he is now the third man that's been confirmed out of qualifying. Here comes Farf coming up to the line. Let's see what he can do. Farf comes up to the line. He is 7th fast. He is into qualifying 3. We've got a Mercedes out of Alhan, and Alhan's gone fastest, and he has knocked out Mr. Elite. Then we've also got Eat the Cookie, who's very much on the cusp as well, and we've got Troy, who's invalidated his time again, and Troy's out of qualifying as well. It's between Eat the Cookie, Mr. Elite, and Murphy, who's also in trouble as well, isn't he? Let's go back here then, and on the back straight as well then. So where is he going to finish then? Is he going to get into the top 10? He's going to get to the top 10. Well, he's currently in 10th position at the moment, and let's go as he accelerates out then, and he is coming up to the line. He is fast as Cookie is then. Murphy is out staring into the abyss now, though, isn't he? Because it's between himself and Mr. Elite then. What has Mr. Elite done so far then? He needs to make sure he's neat and tidy in the final chicane. He is neat and tidy in the final chicane. Lovely stuff indeed then. And now he comes up to the line. Oh no, he's slowing down. So maybe he's happy with P11 now. And I think he is indeed then. And Troy then is coming into the pits then, as he unfortunately didn't set a time, and that means he is out of qualifying for the AlphaTauri. Also out of qualifying is Nigel, Fireshot, FIFA, and Mr. Elite, all out of qualifying then. And that is a big shame indeed then. So down there, goodness me, just getting through by the skin of his teeth there, wasn't he? Goodness gracious me then. And then Farfar also getting through as well. Also by very similar times as well, isn't it? Goodness me, very close out there, isn't it? In terms of qualifying, isn't it? Lovely stuff indeed there. Of course, it's going to be close out with the times that's so close. Well, with the circuit being so short, isn't it? And I think that's what makes this qualifying so exciting as well. Cookie there is Jonathan, Cookie, Lights, and Alhan, all in the 8th then in that second part of qualifying as well. And there's a lot of different tyre choices then into qualifying. In qualifying 2 then, which is going to make the race extra more interesting. There's 35 laps around this Montreal circuit, isn't there? So very good, very interesting stuff indeed then. As Farfair is now just crawling back to the pits as well. As we're just watching Mr. Lee, and this is going to be the last time we're going to be seeing Mr. Lee in this qualifying session as well. And of course, on his 40th race start for Mr. Lee as well. The 11th position is not too bad at all. Mr. Lee, I think, has had a very good season so far, hasn't he? In 8 starts, he has scored 31 points there. The first 2 races, very difficult for Mr. Lee. He usually starts off slowing and builds himself up. This time, he has started off It usually starts off quick and drops off, but this season he has started off slower and really picked up some major points there as well. His best performance so far was definitely the Monaco Grand Prix, isn't it, where he finished in a very respectable 5th position as well and got fastest up as well. No, he didn't, sorry, and he got that bonus point as well for completing the Monaco Grand Prix. So well done, did that to Mr. Elite then as well. And this is the final classification from qualifying 2. Eat the Cookie, Alhan and Jonathan, then all on soft tyres. Same with Farf and Murphy as well. Medium tyres for Lights, Peas, Drop Fast, Lost Souls, and Emerson. Out of qualifying is Mr. Elite then, and of course no one else set a time, did they? But Troy out of qualifying, FIFA, Farshot, and Nigel also had a qualifying 2 ban as well. We are going into qualifying 3 in just a few moments' time here in ALR Gold. Right, we're into qualifying 3 then, and you can see, we've got a lovely bit of sunshine as well. And this is going to be I cannot wait. Who's going to get on pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix? Last pole sitter was Granty, wasn't it, last time out in Azerbaijan? Unfortunately, he'll be starting right at the back of the field then. And that's a bit disappointing for Granty, isn't it? But let's see what he can do then, and coming back through the field as well. Well, we're going to find out then. As out of the pits first comes A. McLaren and Jonathan Coxon. And I've got to say, he's looking very much on strong here tonight, isn't he? Good stuff to see Jonathan back in action as well. Then they are now just touring out the pits there, but it's the Williams of Lost Souls who is the first man to put the rubber down on the tarmac here for the qualifying 3 format as well then. Anyway then, so we're now just going as Lost Souls is now on an outlap at the moment then of it's not on an outlap at the moment here of Canada as well. Look at this, I've got some completely different day, isn't it? We've had 3 seasons, haven't we? We had a sprinkle of rain at the end of qualifying 1 and qualifying 2, and now we got a bit of sunshine as well. I've got to say, it's a beautiful day, as you two would say, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. As the Lost Souls are very much then on a outlap at the moment as he's just getting himself ready and ready to get going as well then. Anyway then, yeah, so we are just we're just getting ourselves prepped up and raring to go once again then, and here we go indeed then, and let's see what we can do then. What Lost Souls can do, I should say then. So we're on board with him now, and as he comes now down into the final part of the course as well, and here we go then. And Lost Souls then, this is it then. Can he get a pole position? He had a couple of pole positions in silver, didn't he, last season? He hasn't had a pole position yet in his ALR gold career so far. Lost Souls hasn't. He's on the soft compound tyres. Everyone should be on the soft tyres for this part of qualifying, because it's all about speed now. There's nothing about strategy. This is what you've got in the locker. And let's see what Lost Souls got in the locker as well. They're flying through at turn 5 as well. Pole sitters this season, well, we've had 4 pole positions there for Cookie. We've had 2 pole positions there for Milan. We've had a pole position for Granty and for Emerson as well then. So the pole positions have been strung out quite nicely, haven't they? Well, can Lost Souls add his name to the list of pole sitters in ALR? Goodness me then, as we're now on board then, as he is going down into the hairpin as well. It's done a 40.8 then. There's traffic in front at the moment then from Lost Souls, and as he accelerates away then, and now then all he's got now is 2 stops to go. But I gotta say, they're major stops, aren't they? Let's see then what he can do as well. We're on board then with Lost Souls, and then he is now coming up to those 13 and 14 turns now then. And look at this as he breaks down then into 4th gear then. Look out, oh goodness me, and almost having to correct the car. A lot of oversteer there, and Souls across the line. He's done an 8 so far. Good stuff indeed then. What about Jonathan? Jonathan comes across the line. That's his target. He's beaten that as well. Oh, incredible stuff indeed. He's a 10 for a second in front then. Ferrari of, I think it's Farfan coming to the line then. We're on board with Farf, but he is on an outlap at the moment there. So do not get too excited yet then, Farf fans, but get excited a bit there on as well. Cookie has invalidated his time. He's got to have another bite of cherry. Alhan is also setting the time on as well. Here comes Lights then. Lights then, he probably should have been on pole position in Vietnam then. He's already had a pole position to his name back in the Italian Grand Prix. He's on pole again here tonight, and he is 2/10 of a second in front so far. The rest of the field, great time there from Lights as well. Pease has invalidated his time. There's going to be a lot of disappointed drivers, I think, after this race tonight and this qualifying session as well, as he's now coming up to the final part of the chicane as well. Hopping over the curbs, I should say. Drop fast there, hugging the outside corner, and he goes fastest. Drop fast on pole position there by 7/10 of a second. Lovely stuff indeed then, as Dan Murphy goes into 5th fast in the racing point. Lovely stuff indeed then. Farf Bennett at the moment then is coming up to the line then. He's invalidated again, Farf has. So unfortunately that's another lap that Farf's going to have to abandon as well. Cookie then hasn't invalidated this time then. This is second. Oh, he's invalidated right at the end now. So Cookie there, that's another lap where he is after thrown away there. And Cookie at the moment there is on his back foot, isn't he? Goodness me then. What about Total Pizza? He's coming out of the hairpin as well then. And now then, here we go then. So then he has got one more stop to go, but it's a very important stop, isn't it? Where all your hard work for the previous 12 corners is going to come undone in these final parts of the lap then as well. Pizza, lovely stuff indeed there. And got to say, great position in the car there as well. Looking sweet as a nut. and it is second fast as well. And somehow he's put himself in between draw fast and lights there of 8.526 for draw fast, and 8.553 for total Pete's, and 8.598 for lights as well. Incredible stuff from the front three at the moment then, and then Jonathan is 0.2 of a second away at the moment as well then, as now then as he is coming in, as he's now on an in lap as well. Favre is also invalidated once again, hasn't he? So that's not good at all, is it, for Favre? Eat the Cookie is also coming in the pits as well. So that's a bit unfortunate then, isn't it, for Cookie, as unfortunately he's having some he's had 2 bites of the cherry, so to speak, or 2 bites of the cookie, I should say. And unfortunately, because of that, then he has not set the time just yet. Emerson's on track as well. Emerson has been there or thereabouts, but he hasn't really been in the conversation yet, has he, Emerson, has it, of course? And that's after taking his first win last time out in Baku, of the season, I should say. And of course, he also won this race a couple of seasons ago as well, didn't he? On board with him once again, and let's see what Emerson can do then in the second intermediate split time, as he is coming up to the line there just after this corner here then. And now we're coming into the hairpin, and let's go then, as he is now going into turn number 12 as well then, before accelerating away then and going on the back straight then as well. And he is now coming down into the final chicane then, and away we go as well then, as oh god. As he's now coming down to the chicane as well. Let's see what he can do then. You have to take a lot of speed through here, but not too much curbage. He doesn't indeed, and he's now coming into the line. And what is it going to be? It is pole position there for Emerson. 8.499 from the Renault. Lovely stuff indeed then. Great time indeed there for Emerson. He had a pole position, but way back in Australia, hasn't he? Round 1. He hasn't had a pole position since then, Emerson. But goodness me, there. I saying he wasn't in the conversation. Well, he's put himself in the head of the table, hasn't he? Now, incredible stuff there for Emerson. And he's got 5 minutes and get himself back to the pits and get himself back out there as well. As now then, he's coming up, and he's now coming up to the line, and he's going to. And he's going to go and he's going to come in the pits there, get himself sorted, and we'll be back, and we'll be back in an issue, or we'll be back in just a few moments of time as well. I've got a problem with so I've got a stereo board inside here. Anyway then, as we're on board then with Emerson then, and he is now just coming back into the pits as well. No, it's just on YouTube, it seems all right then. So yep, we must just carry on with YouTube then. Right, carry on with Facebook then. So as he comes into the pits now then, and let's go. As Jonathan has said hello, and it's a dry race as well. As Jonathan is now on the old Facebook page then. On board then with Lost Souls, and he's had a problem there, and so is Jonathan as well, and that is not good at all. Justin Bradfield, evening Sean, I love this track as well. As good stuff indeed. Then he is now coming down then into the hairpin as well, and Jonathan is improving, but unfortunately that ain't going to matter, is it, too much, because of because invalidated his time then. Yellow flag is fluttering in sector 3, isn't it? And that is not good at all, is it? So Jonathan now is coming up to the chicane, and he's going to have another bite of cherry, isn't he? Murphy's out on track as well. Eat the Cookie is also out there relatively early as well then. So it's now just on board then with Dan Murphy then. So he's just getting the car prepped then, ready to go for this lap then. And let's see what Dan Murphy can do then. Coming down 7 fast at the moment. He is the slowest of the cars, which is a bit surprising. As Simon just said, get a better Wi-Fi. Well, I'm going to be honest, it's fine on Facebook, so I blame YouTube. So if you want to go and watch the stream, I'd suggest you all go on Facebook really, because it's all fine over there. That's just my thinking anyway. Anyway then, so yep, as we are now then getting back on board there with Murphy as well. And so let's see what he can do then, as he is now coming down he's coming down the back straight down as well. He's going to start the time run as well. Murphy then looking at over the curbs, and here we go then to start a lap for Dan. He's in the 10th at the moment. That's quite a bit of time away, isn't it, from where Los Souls is, and Los Souls is the second slowest car at the moment. Let's see what Murphy can do in his second attempt then of getting a time in as well. Cookie at the moment there is already halfway around the circuit as well. He hasn't had a time yet, has he, so far? Let's go on board there. Beat the Cookie then. Of course, the man who's been on pole position 4 times already this season. Is he going to make it 5 in 9 races? And he comes out of the chicane as well. He's invalidated. Cookie is invalidated. And that is a big blow, isn't it? And yeah, Cookie's going to have to go around again. And that's another time where he's really had issues then. We're on board there with Dan Murphy. He's a 10th for a second up of his previous best. I'm wondering if he backed off in the final part of that then, because I think that I wonder if he made a mistake somewhere. And he's now going into the hairpin as well. Then 1 minute to go, well, 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well. Accelerates away then, and he is now on the back straight end. As he now comes up to DRS. There he is, and right on the money. And he is now then coming down the back straight as well. Let's see then. Where is he going to go? Where he's going to stop? Look at that. Brakes there just before the 50-meter board. Accelerates away. DRS is on the money. Where is Murphy going to put himself? He is in the 1 minute 9, sir. He is improved by a second there, but he is still the slowest of the cars to set a time so far. Cookie's invalidated again. He's invalidated again. Cookie has to wonder how much more fuel he's got on board. Oh dear, this is not good at all, is it, for Cookie? And he's on the back. He's on the back foot, isn't he? Far from the back run there, just trying to open up a lap as well, isn't he? So Cookie there, luckily he has gone early, and I'm wondering if he does have a bit more fuel on board. But Cookie, this is the last chance, isn't it? Before he's drinking out the last chance saloon, isn't he? Unfortunately, Cookie is, and as we're back on board for him now as well. And here we go as well. So now then, as we are now just on board, then we think the Cookie then as he accelerates away and goes now goes through and into the first part of the course as well. Then so the Cookie then he's really up against now. Isn't he? He doesn't feel pressure too much, does he, Cookie? But this is pressure now. Then is it for the championship leader, the man who has really stormed through ALR so far since making his debut back in France last season, and he is on the back straight as well. And DRS is wide open, and he's done 2 laps on these soft tires. Surely that's going to give him a performance disadvantage. And he's coming down into the airplane as well. Murphy's retiring from the session, and he is 7th fast at the moment. Dan is, and he's said it himself, and he's so much more confident, isn't he, in his race pace in qualifying. And Dan is unfortunately the first man out to qualifying, but he is 7th fastest then in this qualifying free session. And look at Farfar, he's trying to get a cheeky old slipstream, isn't he, from the Cookie. Cookie then is into the final part of the course as well, and DRS right on the money. Let's see what he can do then. He comes across the line. It is 5th fastest for Cookie, and Farf, I think it's it's Drop Fast is gone at 2nd fastest still, but I think Los Souls is on pole position there for the Williams team. And wow, goodness me, then great stuff indeed there for Los Souls. What about Young Lights? Young Lights coming to the line. He is on pole position. Young Lights is fantastic. We got Mercedes of Alhan, who is 6th fast at the moment then as well. Farf is invalidated his time. He's got the highest. He's going to be his 10th then. Where's we got Emerson who's coming to the line. Where's Emerson? Emerson's only 3rd fastest. Jonathan is only 4th fastest. And what about Pease? Pease has lost his front knowing. Lights is on pole position for the 2nd time in his ALR career. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Lights. And wow, what a great time there for Young Lights. And I love that qualifying session. What a qualifying session. It was all up in the air, wasn't it? Who knew who was going to get pole position? But in the light of day, well, that is a pun, Lights there got pole position there. Brilliant time indeed there for Young Lights. And wow, absolutely spectacular stuff indeed there for Young Lights. As oh goodness me, as I just actually good stuff indeed there. Wow, incredible stuff indeed then incredible stuff indeed there for Young Lights. Really brilliant stuff indeed then. Of course, if you try to watch on YouTube, I've got a warning or an exclamation point, and it's having issues there. I've heard I've got no thing. I can't really do much about it, and because the stream's going fine on Facebook, so I suggest you jump over there and watch it on the old Facebook stream, I'd say. If you want to see some viewing, because it's very good stuff indeed. Then Jonathan is happy with P4, isn't he? He's having a lovely time out there, isn't he, Jonathan? And that's his strongest performance to date so far. Then, and as we got Jerome now saying, "Let's go!" as well. Then, so yes, as Lights there is on pole position there for the for his second time of his career here in ALR. 700 second in front of Lost Souls, who is in second position. Emerson is in third there. Fourth is Jonathan. Fifth is Drop Fast. Sixth is Total Peas there. Seventh, Alhan. Cookie eighth. Murphy in ninth. And Farf, who didn't set a time, is down in 10th position as well then, as we are now getting ready for the race itself then. So here we go then. This is going to be a cracking one to say the least, isn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. So here we go then as well. Yes, it's unfortunate. Yep, I don't know why it's not connected to YouTube, but yeah, I don't know why. I'm not sure, but YouTube just doesn't like me on Sundays, does it? Second time in a row we've had issues with YouTube. So if you want to watch the race, I suggest you jump over to the Facebook stream as well, as that is all cooking on gas, isn't it? And a really good stuff indeed then. And so, yep, lovely stuff then. So we're now getting ready for the race itself here in Montreal, Canada. And this is going to be a cracking one. I have no doubt about that then. So as you can see, the cars are on the right hand side then, and this is going to be a and this is gonna get very good stuff indeed then. So oh goodness me, as oh gosh. As now then, we are now getting ready to get going then in just a jiffy as well then. So as you can see, there it is. The session is counting down. We are about to get going here in ALR for the Canadian Grand Prix. We are up in North America there. And usually the winters are harsh up here, but when the sunshine is beating down the tarmac, goodness me. And remember 2008 when the tarmac was breaking up, wasn't it? And of course they had to put down all that cement dust. Was it 2009? 8? Something like that, wasn't it? And Lights is on pole position. I got to say, I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a cracking race. Right, here we go then, as we are back then for the Canadian Grand Prix. We only missed the formation lap, which is not too important, isn't it, for us? But it's very important for the drivers then, and here we go then for the Canadian Grand Prix then. And Lights is on pole position then for the second time of his ALR career as well. Here we go as well then, so we are now about to get going as well. Lights there is twitched and he's ready to get going then. The lights are on then, but of course no one is home to begin with, because we are just waiting for those are just the decoy lights, aren't they? And now then, there we go, then we're ready to get going here in ALR, and we are racing here in Montreal now, and it's a good starter for Young Lights by looks. He did bog down, but he set through, and he's still in the lead then. Emerson is second at the moment, but Lost Souls has gone on the outside then, and he is through and up into second position as well. Emerson in third position, and fourth is Jonathan. Drop Fast in fifth, Cookie is down into sixth there. He's had an appalling start, and now Hannah's on the outside there, and now as we come through the second and the first chicane there as well, everyone is through safely. Are they? There's a yellow flag out there. I think it's Nigel's off, and he's damaged the car as well then, and there's a yellow flag in section 1 as well, as Total Peace has left the session then. We're on board there with Young Lights as well, as he is now coming into the chicane as well. We have Lost Souls in second position. Emerson is in third position. Jonathan fourth. Drop Fast fifth. Cookie is down in sixth position, and Farf is seventh, and we've got Murphy who's flying on the outside on the left side of me, and he's going to go on the inside. Murphy is diving down the inside. Oh, he's gone way too deep there, and Farf has gone up and under and gets back into seventh position as well, and Murphy is jumped down into eighth position there. Good stuff indeed there. And not good stuff from Murphy, but good stuff from Farf, and Granty the champion is already up in the third position. Fantastic stuff there as he come through then to complete a lap one and here as Lights there is down to 16 and to start us off. Souls the second position, third position is Emerson as well. Jonathan in fourth position, Drop Fast in fifth, yellow flag in three, and Sammy is out. There's a safety car. Sam is out of the race and he's gone into the wall of champions. And oh dear, Sam then is the first retirement here in this race, and Mercedes then have had to service two cars in this opening stint as well. And as they look out then, as they are very much they're well behind them, they're changing the nose cone there on the Mercedes head, and he is on the soft tires head, and he is about to get going in just a jiffy as well. He's out of the pits now, Nigel is, and away he goes as well. Lights there is now leading this, as we got a safety car at the moment, and a safety car then on this opening exchange in this race, and goodness me then, and it's very interesting out there as well. Goodness gracious me. And yeah, the stream is pretty much dead then. But if you go onto Facebook, and because ALR is also being streamed on Facebook, go to the ALR Facebook page and you can watch it there as well. So there you go as well. If of course if you haven't got Facebook, there we will be re-uploading the Facebook stream onto YouTube after this race then, so you can, I suppose you can have the highlights. Anyway, we're on lap 3 then, now 35 as well, so Sam out of the race already. Nigel is spinning the wrong way. We've also had Alhan and Fireshot in the pits as well, unfortunately, so that's a big shout out. We're on board with lights at the moment, and he is just catching up to the back of the safety car, which has burnt Mylander as well, and there he is then. So so burnt Mylander then is now going to take us around then as we can calm down then. So yeah, that was a bit of a sketchy start, wasn't it? Into the pits there comes Caesar as well. Caesar's in the pits, Farf's in the pits, and Murphy is in the pits as well. Murphy blazing out of the pits, same with Farf as well. Alhan now in that 16th position there, and unfortunately Alhan is dropped down 9 positions. Grant is up to 10th already in this race. FIFA in his first start here in ALR Gold is up into 9th position as well. Fantastic stuff there from FIFA Beefy. Good stuff indeed there. As you can see there, we're just watching lights at the moment, and Solos in the second position now. We spoke already about this. It was good stuff indeed there. Pillars are saying there, if Lights has got some problems with internet connection, he needs to sort it out. I can't say much now because by the looks I've got a dodgy bit of wire as well. Hopefully Lights connection can stabilise in a minute, and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues there. But I think Lost Souls there is just giving him a bit of an advantage at the moment. So we've had pit stops there for Murphy, Farf, Alhan, Fireshot, Caesar, and Nigel. We've had Pease, who hasn't come into the pits, but he had a connection issue and dropped out, didn't he? Unfortunately, we're on board there with Nigel at the moment, as he is just catching up to the back as well. Then, as Sam was saying, everyone is lagging so bad there. Sam is also a follower anniversary. Lovely stuff indeed there from Sam. Brilliant, beautiful. Into the pits goes Pease as well. So Pease, unfortunately, the connection issue for Pease there. He's coming in the pits there. He's going to be changing those tires there. He is on the medium tire car to it, and now he is out and about in it. Well, no, yes, there he is. He's disappeared in front of me. Goodness me, I didn't know he's in the TARDIS. So he's coming out of the pits now. Lap 4 out of 35. And of course, we've got a long way to go. There's a lot of lappage around here, isn't it? Because it's a short circle, isn't it? It's a short blast around the Montreal Lake, isn't it? No, lake, is it? I think it's a river, isn't it? St. Lawrence Seaway is absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there. Cody Vaughan has asked, can I join? If you go to www.advancedleagueracing.com, and of course, in the right-hand side of the website, there's a button called Join ALR. And of course, if you put in your Discord information, and then the admins will add you in then to the old driver chat as well, where you can see all kinds of meme and wonderful gifts there. And it's usually me sending cat gifts as well, because I do love a good cat. As we're just watching Lights out, then he is at the front of the field. Then safety cars in the end of this lap. Then we're about to go race as well. Of course, if anyone watched Formula 1 today, safety cars was definitely the red safety car start was definitely a lot to be discussed, wasn't it? Anyway, then now they're just coming back out now as well. Here we go then, and as we're now going to get racing in just a jiffy as well. Here we go. When is that Light's going to drop the hammer? And when is he going to get going again then? So we're coming up to lap 5 there this race as well. As they're just weaving backwards and forwards there to make sure they got tire temperature in there as well. We're on board with Pease, who is in the back of the world. He is 5th in the World Championship. And he needs to get some good old offense in, hasn't he? When is Light's going to drop the hammer? He's gone. He is gone. We're back racing here in Montreal. And here we go then, as we're now coming down then into the World Championship chicane, and Emerson doing a great job as well. Look at them all fly by me. That Renault, goodness me, very close to the wall. That was Mr. Lee in his 5th 40th race start as well. As Nigel's got a 3-second penalty as well. Jonathan, I got to say, this is Jonathan. It's like, oh, he's gone to the back of Emerson. Jonathan has out. I was about to say, this is his strongest performance so far. Fireshot and Alhan are all side by side there. Oh, goodness me then. And Alhan is up the inside. Fireshot's on the outside as well. Of course, got Caesar, who's also also involved as well. Cookie there is on the back foot. The moment is in the championship leader. He's also got a 3-second penalty as well. And, oh goodness me, and they're all streaming all over the show. And Nigel is now up into 18th position as well as he comes into the first chicane as well. Equals has dropped down into 13th position now. No, yes, he's dropped down to 14th because Farf is stuck through. Murphy and Farf are coming back through the field as well after having early stops. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Milan is up to 11th position. Granty up to 10th position as we mentioned before. Fantastic stuff indeed. That Jonathan is now right on the gearbox of Emerson, who's right on the gearbox of Lost Souls, who's right on the gearbox of the race leader, which is Lights as well then, and look at this, it's Granty and Milan there are having a drag race, and DRS is not in effect yet, so they have to go. Oh my goodness me! It's all about tyre performance, and it's all about the Earth's performance as well. As now then, as he comes out the inside, what's happened there? Lights has had issues. No, he isn't. He's back in front there as well. Emerson is second, and third position is Souls. Jonathan is up the inside. Oh goodness me! And where's Lights? Lights is one off the track there, and for Lost Souls, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Then Emerson leads, and Lost Souls is spinning. He's spinning, and oh goodness gracious me then, and he's dropping all the way down to the back. Then Alhan is also dropping down as well. Lost Souls is out of the race, as Lights has left the session, and as it's all anarchy in the moment. It's appalling stuff going on out there at the moment. Emerson is now up into is now leading the race, and the Lights has unfortunately left the session there as well. Jonathan is now going up in second position. Drop past him, fourth fastest at the fourth position. Cookie's going on the outside, the inside. Oh, and he's also giving him the drop past a bit of a good old nerf as well to get him going there, to get him going. Incredible stuff indeed as they come down into the hairpin as well. Look on the inside there as that is Cookie then, who's now in the fourth position. A lovely shot here from the nose cone of the Renault, and they accelerate out of the hairpin as well. And look at this as they're battling away, they're coming down now into the chicane as well. Look at this, and that's FIFA Beefy. And remember, FIFA is of course a substitute mode. He's got nothing to lose. He's here to make some waves, isn't he, in the championship order? And oh goodness me there, he's almost cut the chicane now. I think he did cut the chicane then, and as you see Lights there, the pole sitters dropping all the way down the season as well. What a shame for young Lights there, as Milan there is having a look on the inside as well. Troy is up into 8th position as well. Murphy 9th then. No, then it's now Murphy up into 8th position. Troy down to 9th. Ron Porter far for the moment, who is in 11th position just outside the points then. Emerson now, can he go for 2 in a row? Goodness me, Lawson's got a 5-second penalty then as he's on a couple of issues. Lost Souls out of the race, total pieces out of the race as well. What a shame then. It's not good. It's not going too well at all, is it? In this race for those guys. Unfortunately, we're on board then with Farf at the moment. As Equals there is also past Lost Souls in the as Nigel is also in the pits again now. He's having a bit of a difficult battle, isn't he? In this race. And oh goodness me, 2.2 seconds now. Is Emerson starting to pull away from Jonathan? Drop fast in third position there. Milan is, oh goodness me, Milan in FIFA side by side. Oh, getting a good old nerf as well. Lost Souls is out of the race. He's out of the session as well. Farfin and Grant there are battling away. Goodness me, the champion is back up in the 10th position. Oh goodness me, that's Farshot now. We know that Farshot is Farfin. They're never shy to show their nose cones on it, and they're coming up up to the final part of the lap as well. We got pit stop down with Jonathan as in the pits. Oh my goodness me, what was that? And Farshot has somehow been clouted around the wrong way. We've just had a replay of it now, and what happened there? And oh goodness me, we got a bit of a naff camera angle as well when I look back at it. Goodness gracious me. And now then we got Milan, who's up into 4th position now as well. And we got Dan Murphy, who is in at 6th position, and 7th position is Troy as well. We got Farf, who's back all over the back then. It was Farshot involved in this battle as well, but Farshot was eliminated from this battle, wasn't he? And look at this, Farf is going up the inside. Oh, where's Granty? I thought he was in on the wall there. And now Grant there is just trying to use the substitute as well. Look in the back of Caesar as well. He hasn't scored any points yet on his couple of races for Red Bull, and as Grant, he's got issues there. He's damaged the end plate. You could tell there because he was oh my goodness me, FIFA there is having a cracking battle with Milan then. This is a great race, isn't it? Murphy is back up into an incredible 6th position. Great stuff from Murphy, and now he's got DRS there right on the minute, and he pulls out from underneath the rear wing then at the Alfa Romeo. Murphy is through up into 8th position. Milan is down into up into 5th position. Milan is in 6th position as well then, so we're coming through then to complete a lap number 9 then, and this is incredible stuff indeed then. This is Grant in the pits as well. The pit stop window has been open if you're on a 2-stop strategy then, and then Granty then, I think that he wants to go a long way into this race, didn't he? As Pease is unfortunately left the session as well. What a shame then for Pease. On board then with board with Milan as well then, as this is, oh goodness me, he's also kissed the armco barrier as well, hasn't he? Farfan, gosh, I'm dripping with sweat already in this race. Behind me, that's been an incredible open exchange here in Montreal. So we're on lap 9. Farfan, who is now then, he's just trying to drop back slowly, isn't he? As he's on the medium tyres. Jonathan's got 3 seconds as well. Remember, Cookie is also a penalty as well. Cookie down in 12th position there after the incident that went on there. Jonathan is also down as well into 13th position then, as here he is, and both Renaults are now first and third. Then I got to say, I've missed a lot here, as I didn't even know. I seen the people getting the pits there, but I didn't really say who it was. Jonathan is in the pits there. He's going for an undercut, I'm wondering here, or did he have damage there? Nigel's got another 3-second penalty as well, down in 17th position there. We got 2 former champions, 15th and 17th so far. We've got 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th have all won a race in their ALR career. Goodness me, the caliber of drivers in here is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Could someone send Young Lights an invite, as Young Lights having issues there, and as Young Lights there is trying to get himself back in the session, as unfortunately he can't get in at the moment. If anyone could drop Young Lights an invite, that would be great. Here he is at the moment. He's down in 14th position at the moment. As Young Lights is very disappointed there. He was in prime position, wasn't he, to have a great, good old race, wasn't he? He was on pole position there. He was battling at the front there, and unfortunately just dropped out, didn't he? Milan is coming out of the pits now. Then is Grant and Milan are going to be very close to each other, aren't they? Look at this. We're on board with Murphy at the moment. Then, just saying, look, that Grant has now gone past the Young Lights. And as Pillars is rightfully said, actually, Nigel's left the session now. And yeah, that's not good for Nigel, is it? He's out of the race. We're on lap 10 out of 35 now as well. Look in the background there. There's also, we've got Cars and Troy far from Cecil, also having issues as well. We're on board there. And look at Murphy there. He is gaining on FIFA. Beefy. Farfan's got past Troy. Murphy's got past FIFA. He is up into 4th position there. Farfan, Murphy on an outstanding race so far. Brilliant stuff indeed then from those guys. Really well done indeed then. As Pillars has rightfully mentioned there, Dan Pilbeam has just said that, of course, if you've got, if you're out of the session, then that's it. There's next any ruckus there. As the co-masters do not have the best of track records, do they? And it is a racing game, isn't it? So you would expect their track record to be very good. Equals in the pits. Equals, this is full debut here in gold, isn't it? And he's in 14th position running. He's had a rough old start, hasn't he, to his gold career. Back on board with Murphy. He is the man for plan, isn't he, Dan is? And he is now all over the back of Mr. Lee as well. He's got 2 lap younger tyres than Mr. Lee as well. But Murphy, remember last season, he had a cracking race around her, didn't he? He finished second there. And that was his first podium visit of I think it was 3 in the end last season, wasn't it, for Dan Murphy? Of course, I think this season it's been a bit of a difficult start, isn't it? Farfan and Farfan just battling away and coming down the back straight as well. And now we're on board then. As we're now on board as well, then, as look at this, as FIFA has dropped down the order, and Farfan is up in 5th position. FIFA is down in 6th position at the moment, then, and let's see, as now Farfan is up in 5th position as well. We've got Drofas in the pits there. He has gone onto the soft tyres there. Goodness me, there. And I love. Oh, it's that Red Bull. I thought it was going into the back of that Haas there. Not quite. And Jonathan's got another penalty out there as well. Dan is now up in 2nd position then, and he is almost. Could take the lead in this race. Well, incredible stuff there. FIFA's got a 3-second penalty as well there in the battle. Caesar 6th position, Troy 7th, Alhan 8th, Cookie is now in 9th position, Drop Bass is coming up behind Cookie in 10th position as well. Jonathan a second behind him as well. And I got to say, this race is all over the show at the moment. Quite enjoying it as well. And Nigel's out of the race as well, so we're down to 15 cars in this race. And Emerson is leading now by 6.3 seconds then. The undercut could possibly be quite powerful here for Emerson. Let's see what he's doing now. And just on board then, so as he's now coming up to the back end as well. Unfortunately, I can't invite you Young Lights as well, because I don't like the stream to be interrupted. Albeit it's already been interrupted, hasn't it? And I think I've also swore on stream as well, because I didn't realise it was still going. There you go. one of my more lowlights in my career, I should say. Farfair is, goodness me, very close to the back of Mr. Elite, isn't he? And we've also got Caesar and FIFA also interested. Well, look at these killer cars as they come down into turn one. Farfair's having a look there, but no dice then. Caesar is up in 5th position. FIFA is down into 6th position as well. And Drothbas has got the legs over Cookie at the moment. Now, I think this is one of the first races where he's seen the Cookie. Oh, my goodness me, I'm wondering, Farfair almost spun Mr. Elite there. Mr. Elite has got a 3-second penalty. And, oh dear, and look at this, Farfair is very keen now, isn't he, to get past Mr. Elite, because there's now a bit of a conga forming behind the Renault driver. And look in the background is Caesar, is FIFA, and Troy is also joined the party as well, isn't he? Lovely stuff indeed as they come down the second of a true 3 DRS zones around here. And he's coming over the curves as well, back on board then with Farf as he's coming down the back straight as well then, into the which is showing him so much more traction as the other hairpin, and as Murphy is still 3 seconds behind. But into the pits now comes Everton, and Farf is now out of the 16 there of Mr. Elite. He passes Mr. Elite and moves up into 3rd, which will now be 2nd position with Emerson in the pits. And as now Emerson is on the soft tyres as well. Goodness me, that AlphaTauri there is in a bit of problems there as well. And look at Alhan is also catching up behind as well. Cookie has got past Emerson. Emerson cut out of the pits as well. Drothbas is also through as well. Emerson there staying up for an extra couple of laps, and is that undercut might have cost him, but the question is is Emerson, oh goodness me, and that's Nigel there who is out of the race as well, as unfortunately he left the session. And Murphy now leads this race then. And I've got to say, after the first exchanges of this race, I didn't expect that Caesar would crack a race in 4th position. 2 races in a row there where Caesar's really shone, hasn't he? He shone last week, didn't he, as well, before coming into difficulties, didn't he? And then we've also got Cookie, who's all over the back of Alhan. Cookie is now past Alhan and moves up into 7th position. And next man is his teammate Troy, who is in 6th position as well. As you can see, Cookie there is really trying to get the hammer down, isn't he? As he came in the pits a couple of laps earlier. But now then he is Simon up the inside then. Oh goodness me! Grant has got a 3-second penalty as well. Oh, Cookie getting a bit squirrely there out of the hairpin as well. And now then Troy is we got a bit of a duel then between the 2 AlphaTauris. This is not Cookie's usual teammate, is it? So of course there is Troy might not be as helpful as Caesar is through. Mr. Lee is staying into his oh goodness me there. Now jumping out from underneath the rear wing there, Caesar as well. Mr. Lee is having a fine race day at the moment, isn't he? In 4th position, great drive from Mr. Elite. He almost goes from the back of Caesar as well. Cookie is now in as well. Alhan has got Drothbas for company at the moment, and Drothbas has got a 1.2-second advantage over Emerson. There he is as well as he flashes through the screen at the moment, flying through the curbs, and we're back on board then with Drothbas as well. As look at this, and he's all over the back of the rear wing now of the Mercedes. As Emerson now is half a second back as well. Drothbas again has got so much more purchase there on those soft tyres there. We've got 20 laps to go in this race still, as Drothbas is now up into a very fine 6th position as well. Alhan in 7th position there, but look at this as Emerson's now trying to get through. Emerson they're coming through the field quite quickly. He has passed Alhan. He has moved up into 7th position then as well. Good stuff indeed that Cookie has passed Mr. Lee and it's gone up into 4th position as well. This is a great race, isn't it? There's action all over the show, isn't there? And they're coming out of the hairpin as well, down the back straight. Look at that pink car in front. That is Dan Murphy. He leads the race as well with Farf in 2nd. Caesar in 3rd. Then Cookie is in 4th position. Now Mr. Elite then is was all over the back. Drothbas has now just got through because Mr. Elite is coming to the pits. Murphy is coming out from underneath the rear wing of the Ferrari. He's back through. He's past Drothbas and moves up into 5th position. Drothbas trying to go up and under. And Emerson there saw that coming, and that could have been a difficult problem there for both drivers, but they gave each other space there. Well, I've got to say, I've enjoyed this race so far. It's been absolutely incredible stuff, hasn't it? Really brilliant stuff indeed. Then Caesar is now of course under the cosh then from the Cookie then as well, as Cookie is trying to come back from the field. Cookie has done 8 laps on those medium tyres there as well. He's going to go at the inside. He passes Caesar. Lovely stuff indeed. Then Emerson has got so much more braking ability, hasn't he, because of these new soft tyres. Lovely shot here from the diffuser of the Red Bull as well. Then is he going to go down the inside down to the hairpin? Not quite then as well. The gap just didn't open up, did it, for Emerson? As he accelerates away, Emerson's looking very strong 2 weeks in a row now, isn't he? Emerson has had a difficult start this season. He's had 2 DNFs this season. Remember, in the last 2 seasons, that was his total DNFs for season 2 and 3. So Emerson's on a very difficult start to season, but of course, this season anything can happen. Well, there, albeit Cookie is Oh, Cookie's off! He's in the wall! I'm not sure, did Caesar go into him? I'm not sure, but Cookie has gone off and into the wall there. And, oh goodness me, Cookie is having a nightmare race out there, isn't he? And I think Caesar did go into him. I'm sure, just in the replay, I apologise if that's not the case, but Cookie is damaged the nose cone there, hasn't he, the championship leader? And it's going all wrong. Virtual safety car out there. And, oh goodness me then. And Troy and... Grant there is in the pits there as well, just taking advantage of this virtual safety car. I've just had a look at it again. It looks like we was on board with Emerson. It looked like Caesar accidentally nerfed into him. And perhaps Dias is now enabled then, and Dan has now got a 5-second advantage over Farf in second with Emerson in first, then Drop Fast is in fourth position as well. I apologise profusely if that wasn't Caesar's fault, but it looked to me when we was on board with Emerson, that didn't look too good, did it? Oh goodness me then. Now Drop Fast then, who is on a mission as well as Dan Murphy, and these two are battling out for the out and out lead at the moment, aren't they? So we'll see where this happens. We're coming up to half distance now in this incredible race, and both Ferraris are doing an incredible job in second and fourth and are very much in the thick of things as well. I'm wondering what far from Dan's going on. We wonder if they're going to the hard tyres to the end then in the next couple of laps. So then Farf is now falling into the clutch, isn't he? The Cookie here is dropping down the order, isn't he? As in the Alpha Tower as well. Let's see if the Cookie can still get some points from there, I feel. There's only 15 cars left in this race, and he's got an awful lot of work to do, Cookie has, as he's into the pits. Well, he's also got a 5-second penalty as well for the championship leader. It is going all wrong at the moment. Farf is very much there in defensive mode now, isn't he? Look at Everton, oh my goodness me! And that's the ghost in the lights of the pole sitter. And look at this as Farf is through. Oh no, Everton is through then, and I think he was getting very close. I couldn't really see what was going on with Young Lights there. Also all over the show as well there. But the Drop Fast there, just dropping back slightly. You want to see the proposition conversion rate this season is very good. So I've got to say. I think the only one who's actually converted his pole position into win so far is the Cookie. Everyone else hasn't done that at all. Of course, Grant got pole position last time out, didn't win. Lights has got pole position here tonight. He hasn't won either. Emerson had pole position in Australia. He didn't win. Goodness me, and Milan is not converted his 2 pole positions in China or the Dutch Grand Prix either. As now Drop Fast out underneath the ring of his teammate Ferrari of Farf, and he is through and back up into third position there. He's a second behind his challenger from Reese Winland there. I've got to say, Drop Fast there. Goodness me then, in the first race there, he was, I wouldn't say he struggled as such there, but I think he was just trying to get himself find his feet there, but goodness me, he has been absolutely incredible, hasn't he? Grant has got a 3-second penalty, and he is down in 11th position, and then is Mr. Lee there coming back for the pass in FIFA, or is he? Because FIFA getting him a squeeze there, and of course FIFA's not going to let anyone by, is he? And I think FIFA's on the cracking race, he's on a brilliant race there. As just on board then with Mr. Elite then as well then, as he is in the middle. They've got Grant who's also getting caught up to the back, so we've got Caesar who is not too far behind either in that 12th position. He was on a good race, wasn't he, until a minute ago where he had to pit there. I'm not sure if him and Cookie came to blows or what until the final chicane then. We'll have to review that, but it looked a bit suspicious when he was on board with Emerson, but once again then I will apologise profusely if that's not correct then. Granty, we're on board with at the moment then, and he is now right under him. He is now attacking Mr. Elite, and Mr. Elite is on the inside, so Granty's going to go on the outside, is he? Oh goodness me then, getting very oh look at that, Granty there dancing on the outside, brilliant manoeuvre, and he is through and back up into 10th position, back into the points there Granty is. Next target is FIFA as well. Jonathan has got past Alhan and moved up into 6th position as well, and Troy's got 3-second as well. It's getting very cozy down in turn 14, isn't it? As they come onto the chicane as well. Now Farf has also got a penalty as well, then as going up the inside is Granty. He has passed FIFA and he is now through and up into 9th position. Well, can Mr. Elite do the same then? He needs to get by as quickly as possible, doesn't he, from Mr. Elite, doesn't he? Because otherwise he's just losing time now as he fires shot down in 13th position. Monique Paul's in 14th and Cookie is in 15th position as well. Do not count any of those guys I just mentioned out of this race there, because they have got a long way to go in this event. This is far from done here tonight then. There's a regional battle here between Caesar and Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee was battling the sharp end, wasn't he? And at the moment there he's just defending from Caesar. FIFA Beefy is just in front of us at the moment, isn't he? Well, I would say it was the cork in the ball, but he's really found his feet all of a sudden, FIFA Beefy, wasn't he? And looking in front of us there, that was Grant there just lapping the very unfortunate young lights as well. Nigel also out of the race as well, so we are down to 15 cars in Canada. We haven't had any retirees recently. Murphy is still out on track now. He's done 18 laps on those medium tyres there. I'm wondering if he might actually go to the soft tyres as well. Maybe the hard tyres is not the way to go in this race at the moment. Granty, the men on the hard tyres is FIFA, Caesar and Mr. Elite, and also Cookie is on the hard tyres as well. Goodness me, as it's getting very busy into turn 1 as well. Caesar there has got past Mr. Elite, and he is now into 11th position. 17th and 12th position there for FIFA Beefy. Milan there is coming to the back of Al Hani. He's done 11 laps on those medium tyres. We're on board in Milan. Goodness me, as we're just on board now then with Drop Fast, isn't he? As we are coming down the back straight anyway, and Granty is still chasing Murphy, isn't he? Granty's done 9 laps on those medium tyres, so he's doing a good job out there, Granty, and potentially he can get on the podium here. Fantastic stuff indeed there for that's a fantastic stuff indeed there for Granty. Lovely stuff there. A lovely shot here from the world champion as well there, as he's trying to clean his way back there into contention of the world championship as well. With the championship leader out of this race, then it is very difficult indeed, isn't it? Well, no, it's going to be much easier now for Frank to hold back some points, and so he'll be. But he's still going to be out striking distance at the moment. And Emerson then could narrow the points advantage down to 25 points. He's going to half the deficit, which I got to say was absolutely unbelievable a couple of races ago. So Emerson there fighting the good fight, isn't he? He's doing a good old job out there, isn't he? Emerson is once again, and after an appalling start to the season, he is very much getting himself back into the thick of things, isn't he? Lovely stuff indeed. Then Troy is now all over the back of Fireshot as well. Fireshot and Jonathan on similar strategies. Albeit one's leading, one is in that 10th position there, so not really too much around Fireshot at this stage of proceedings as well. But I think that you just got this race has been incredible, hasn't it? So really, you can't really rest on your laurels, can you? FIFA is now in his 7th position. He's back pass in front of Mr. Elite. Great stuff indeed. That FIFA Beef there in his debut for gold. Then he's doing a cracking job, isn't he? 13 cars remain in this race as well, as Troy is now coming up to the back of a Fireshot as well. And it's a Fireshot in. Oh, Troy there almost going to the back of Fireshot there, and he really got misplaced there, didn't he? About where the guy was going to break there in the car. Of course, the guy is a Fireshot. Jonathan now is going under pressure. Emerson going for 2 wins in 2 weekends. There's the brilliant stuff indeed there for Emerson. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Jonathan there, it's oh goodness me, what Jonathan there looks like weeds there, and then it looks like that he slowed down, and Emerson has taken the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix. Absolutely great stuff indeed then, and Jonathan has dropped down then into 5th position there. Murphy is now only a second back as well. Look who he's dragging with him. He is dragging with him Granty and Drop Fast as well. Jonathan might be having that sinking feeling now, who has done 20 laps on the medium tyres. He's in the pitch, Jonathan is then. And he's now going to be on the soft tyres at the end of the race, I have no doubt about that. Murphy is second, Granty is third, Drop Fast in 4th position as well. And Jonathan there, where's he coming out then? He has got he's got a bit of a deficit then. He's coming out the pits now. Is he going to get out in front of Caesar? No, because Caesar's already through. What about FIFA? FIFA is coming down the backside as well, and so is Mr. Elite and Jonathan then, who I got to say was his strongest performance of the season. And was the strongest performance of the season, but he is down 8th position now. Where can he go from here? He's on soft tyres there, and let's take a look. He's already now underneath the rear wing. He's already past Mr. Lee. He is already up into 8th position, 7th position I should say, passes the Renault driver. Lovely stuff indeed there, and going back then to Drop Fast then, who is really chasing Grant down. Grant's done that double the amount of laps, 5-second penalty for he was in his debut here for the Alfa Romeo. That has been a bit of a nightmare. Grant has got another 3-second penalty as well. That's going to be costly, I think. Emerson has now got a 2.3-second advantage over Murphy, and Murphy I think might be my driver of the day today. He's been absolutely incredible, fantastic, hasn't he? Really good indeed. Cookie has left the session now. He is out of the race unfortunately. He's now closing in on the back. He's closing in now on the back of FIFA then. He is 0.3 seconds away then 3 tenths per second. Look at that. Well, look at the speed there. That's the soft tires. Oh, goodness me, there. A bit of a chop there. Jonathan from Beefy, but he's through and up into now up into sixth position there, John, for this. He's got a 5-second deficit between himself and Caesar. I wonder if he can get himself into 5th position then. I think that'll be a job well done. Draw fast is now starting to put the squeeze in, isn't he, on a Granty as well. Murphy cannot get away from Granty, can he, at this stage of proceedings then? Draw fast, a fantastic drive from the Ferrari driver. He's been the thick of the action since the get-go here tonight, hasn't he? Milan has got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. Milan is out of this race. Fire shot is just coming out of the pits now as well. He's got a 12-second deficit to get himself in the points then. But remember, it might be about the penalties as well for us. So you cannot take anything for granted in this race, can you? And accelerating out of the hairpin as well. 12 cars remain in this race, and yellow flag in second one is one. Of course, it's the Alfa Romeo of Milan who is out of this race, unfortunately, and having a bit of a nightmare, isn't he? Unfortunately today, once again, and he was having a good race, wasn't he? And unfortunately, him and Foff come to blows a couple of laps ago, and that has really put pay to a very difficult race, isn't it? And Draw Fast then is now in full position. He just cannot get that extra couple of tenths to get him in front of Granty at the moment, can he? And so Granty, but remember, Granty has a lot of penalties as far as I'm aware. So this potentially could be a problem there for Grant as well. A lovely shot here as well. Droff's got a 3-second penalty. That's not what he needed, is it? Troy is now been on finish as well. Mr. Lee is coming to the pits there. Quite surprised to see Mr. Lee in the pits at this stage of proceedings end. So one of he's damaged the car on the Renault, but on the Renault there, which is a shame really, isn't it? Renault ran a strong race up to that point. In terms of the strongest team at the moment, I think I'd have to go with the Renault team, isn't it? There's only two, I think the Renault have got 2 cars in the top 10 at the moment, and I think that's the only constructor that does, I believe, isn't it? We've got one Pink Panther in there, 1 Williams in there as well, 1 Red Bull, 1 Haas and 1 Mercedes, goodness me, and also 1 AlphaTauri as well. And so yeah, good stuff from the Renault team then, and I think Mr. Lee and Emerson have become a very good combo. As Dan Murphy there is completing another lap, then his Granty is really putting the squeeze on him, isn't he? Granty, I think, has had a very difficult race there. I got to say, I said Murphy might be my driver of the race, but you can't say too much. You cannot sorry, I just was retired then. Emerson's got a 3-second penalty. Is that going to put pay? Is this Murphy's chance as well? I'm not sure if Murphy's got any penalties or not there, but that potentially may be a problem then for Emerson. Then it's 3.1 seconds. The gap is at the moment, and this is going to be a race right to the bitter end, then, isn't it? Oh goodness me then. And now then is that Murphy is coming in to the chicane as well, and accelerates out. It's 3.1 seconds there, and a Granty and a drop fast is also being strung along at nice as well. 1.5 seconds between Jonathan and Caesar, and Jonathan is now on course there for a very good result then, isn't he? He's near the bottom of the standings at the moment, isn't he? Far from his left possession. He crosses in the pits there, and he's had a 5-second penalty for he wasn't on, and it looks like that he's out of the race as well, down to 11 cars in this race. Goodness me, it feels like the race earlier on, doesn't it? It's been drama after drama in this race. It's been very difficult indeed then. Jonathan is now less than a second away then from Caesar, isn't he? And we're coming then into turn 1 as well. Murphy is on the 3-second threshold moment, but Granty might also be able to sense a win here as well. But Granty, I believe, has a lot more penalties, I feel, than anyone else in front of him then, doesn't he? So I think that Granty might not be going up, but rather down, I think, as Droffas, I believe, has less penalties. Back up board on lap 33 out of 35, 3 laps to go in this race then as well. This race has been brutal, hasn't it? On a lot of drivers out there, and I feel that it's going to be might be a lot of fallout after this one. Goodness me then, it has been action all the way, hasn't it? And there's been some big names in and out of the race, and unfortunately Sam was the first one who caused the safety car. Total P's out of the race, Lost Souls retiring as well then. We've also lost Eat the Cookie, Fark, Milan also came to blows then. Nigel and lights the pulse there, unfortunately out of the race, and Equals also retiring the latest retirements as well then, as now then. And then of course then, so we have 11 cars left, and Far Shot is 3 seconds away from a point then. Jonathan there is coming out from underneath the slipstream then. He is side by side with Caesar. He passes and he moves up into 6th position then. Jonathan is 5th, Caesar 6th. Caesar got a 3-second penalty as well for his troubles. Drop Fast is very much starting to put the squeeze, isn't he, on the double world champion Granty. And I think that Granty then has really bounced back from his qualifying ban absolutely magnificently today, hasn't he? He has been in tip-top shape, hasn't he? His driving ability has been absolutely fantastic. He's had a bit of this, I think, his most difficult season in ALR so far. He was the king of F1 2019-2020. A slight different kettle of fish, so to speak, isn't he? But overall, I think, but of course, he's still 4th in the World Championship. He'll be up in the 3rd at the end of this event, won't he? And I think he will pass Young Lights. Unfortunately, Young Lights didn't get a fair crack at the rip, did he? As he had connection issues, is on lap 34 then, as Emerson then is going for 2 race wins in 2 weekends then, and goodness me then, so Emerson is bounced back absolutely beautifully. Drop Fast is going up the inside of Granty. He passes Granty and Drop Fast is on the podium. Lovely stuff indeed then, and really well done. And Drop Fast down into 3rd position. Granty is up into 4th then, and I've got that the wrong way around, but he's got into the back of Drop Fast. Granty has. But luckily no harm, no foul. So luckily both can continue. No damage there on either one of those cars. And Emerson has been absolutely magnificent, hasn't he? He really has. And I think Emerson, this has been an incredible performance from Emerson, throughout the get-go. And Troy's in the pits there, and that could potentially cost Troy some points here in gold. That is good, and he's out. Troy is out of the race, and goodness me then, so Troy's out of the race. Fireshot will get some points as well, and goodness me then, so Troy's out of the race. We're down to 10 cars then here in the Canadian Grand Prix. My goodness me then, and this has been an absolutely incredible race. It really has, hasn't it? And Emerson, then we're on board then with the man who's finished runner-up in both his season. ALR is coming up to the final turn then for the final time, and Emerson is going to win his 2nd race in 2 weeks. Murphy's in the wall. Murphy is in the wall. What's happened there for Murphy? Drop Fast is 2nd. 3rd position is Granty. Murphy has gone into the wall. We're not sure what happened there. Oh goodness me. So Murphy is 4th after a strong performance. Jonathan is going to finish a fantastic 5th, with Caesar is now 5th position as well. And he's also got himself out of the relegation zone. Good stuff from Caesar. Jonathan down to 6th, and FIFA Beefy. What a drive in 7th position. Lovely stuff indeed there for FIFA Beefy. Alhan has jumped up to 6th. Jonathan now is dropping down then. Alhan up to 6th once again. Mr. Clean there for Alhan. And now we've got Mr. Lee, who's gone up into 9th position as well. Mr. Lee on a good old strong drive, isn't he? And Fireshot in 10th position as well. But it's Emerson there. 2 for 2 then in 2 weeks. And well done to Emerson. Brilliant stuff indeed there from the man who's been runner-up twice, hasn't he, in the last 2 seasons in the ALR there. And goodness me, he's bounced back absolutely magnificently. But the champion is driver today, Granty, getting the podium from 20th on the grid there. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And you can see the guys absolutely celebrating up there, absolutely loving it, and let's take a final look at the race results. And Alhan, who I've got to say he was fantastic, isn't he? No penalties at all there for Alhan. Brilliant stuff indeed then. But Emerson now is the man on form at the moment. Has reduced the arrears down to 25 points in the World Drivers' Championship. Drop Fast, a brilliant 2nd position today, isn't he? He's never won a race in ALR. That's gold or silver. His best performance has been 2nd, hasn't it? Granty in 3rd position there, from 19th on the grid to 3rd position. Murphy in 4th position. Caesar in 5th position. Then 6th position is Alhan. 7th is Jonathan. 5th for 8th. Mr. Elite in 9th. 10th position is Fireshot. Retirements: Troy, Lights, Nigel, Equals, Milan, Farf, Eat the Cookie, Souls, Peas, and Sammy all retired then from the Canadian Grand Prix. And I have been joined in the gantry now by the rostrum winners. And let's start off with Emerson, his 2nd race win in 2 weeks. And that takes his career total for Emerson's race wins up to 12 now. Goodness me, only one behind Granty. Emerson, what a drive today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very difficult race because I knew it would all come down to penalties, and I feel like I kind of started on the wrong strategy because of the early safety car. Kind of, it wasn't ideal, but I kind of made the most of it, and I decided to use the softs in the middle stint rather than at the end, just in case that another safety car came out. But I didn't really get a penalty until like the last 5 laps, so I really, really wanted to finish the race without any penalties. But yeah, I mean, it was very difficult race in some aspects, but I mean, I kind of just controlled the pace and do overtakes here and there where I needed to.
Really good stuff indeed. Then, of course, that's your 12th race win now as well. But you've half the arrears now between yourself and between yourself and a Cookie. So I've got to say, a couple of races ago, that it was kind of unthinkable. He was walking away with it. But now, goodness me, you've really got a fight on your hands now with yourself and Cookie.
Yeah, I mean, I was literally saying to Dan earlier in the party that a DNF for Cookie at some point in the next couple of races and me winning would be ideal. So 25 points is a massive difference compared to 50. So hopefully, I mean, I can just keep on getting that down every week for the next couple of weeks, and then I'll be right on him.
Lovely stuff indeed. Then, well done, Emerson. Brilliant stuff indeed. Let's come to the double world champion, Granty. And Granty qualifying ban today, but I got to say that doesn't make a difference. You got driver today, and that performance today was absolutely incredible stuff. Going from 19th on the grid to third, brilliant stuff there.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it today. Obviously, the VSC came out pretty good for me. Pitted straight away for the mediums and went to the end.
Simple as that. And of course,
Literally, mate, I had a load of penalties, so when Dan Murphy went, I thought, right, I got third here.
and how are you feeling about your championship aspirations? Then you've gained a couple of points out on the championship leader today, and I think you've moved back up into third as well. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, just take a race as it comes, mate. To be fair, I mean, obviously, it's a little bit more tough season for myself. A few DNFs, and yeah, hopefully, can progress from here and get podiums again.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well done, guys. Then a brilliant race there. Race of attrition, wasn't it? Tomorrow night we're back in action for silver, where it's going to be at 7:30 UK time then, and it's Pillars. It's the two Dans at the top, isn't it? Pillars and Dan Murphy. They're battling it away then, and of course in bronze as well. I got to say, whoever is going to win that one is going to be absolutely earned it, and they with Newman absolutely on form, aren't they? We'll see you tomorrow night for silver. Goodbye.